My friends, welcome to my 203-day CAD models in FreeCAD series. Today I will be working on exercise 178, which is, it looks like a seat belt, the end part of the seat belt, on the car. I don't know, but it's an interesting object, and I will be using part design to build this model in the new FreeCAD version that hasn't come out yet. Now that I'm saying that out loud, it feels weird. So the FreeCAD developers version that I will be using it, and also part design, because yesterday I did some experiment, like a new feature in part design. I tried it out and it looked cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing that. So I placed this image on YZ plane because I want to use this face to draw this object. So in that object, it has these two cards are symmetric. This slot is partly symmetric, and this edge card that we won't be worried about right now. But only thing not symmetric is this collar. With that, having those notes in our mind, let's go ahead and relocate the image to align with this, with the corner. So I'm gonna say there, looks good. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and draw sketch on YZ plane. So in part design, all right, so this tabular feature of these workbenches, it's new in 0.22 version, and also the 0.22 version will probably come out soon as FreeCAD 1 version. So as you can see here, it has only 35 of these issues open. As soon as they are closed, and they've been working pretty hard on this, so maybe within next month we get the FreeCAD 1 version. So if you don't have it yet, just don't worry about it. Then the stable version will come out pretty soon. And I wanted to get a head start on these new features. All right, so in part design, get a sketch on YZ plane, and quickly I want to draw the outline using the polyline. So it would be quick sketching, and I can come back to actually fix these lines here and there right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this one vertical. This is horizontal, so that's P for vertical, H for horizontal on the keyboard. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select this line, hit D on the keyboard. That's for dimension. I'm gonna go say 34.1. All right, so now the dimension command is in there. I can just click on the lines and then keep drawing out the dimensions. 164.9 is it? Yes. And then this would be 20, and this would be 70. So between 2.1 and 2.2, so 0.21 and 2.2, the dimensioning is a big change. So here I have to click on the line and do another click on the location and then apply the dimension. So that's one way, which is different than 0.21. All right, so this is 50. All right, we got all the dimensions available that we have given there, and we still have 2 degrees of freedom. I guess there would be the angles here because I don't have the length of this line here. So let's go ahead and select these 2 lines and hit D on the keyboard. So that gives you option for 90 degree the angle, because you already have the dimensions in there. So that's the smart dimension. Or because it's a 90-degree angle, we can go with this constraint, which is called constraint perpendicular for n for normal. Normal means 90-degree angle or like right angle. We can do that, or like hit N on the keyboard, and that puts this constraint up there. We will do the same thing on 135. So select these 2 lines, hit D, and that's 135. And again, I understand in like previous, say, several videos or like quite a few videos, I've been going too fast on this series with the thought that this is a series that starts from 1 and hopefully will end at 200. So if you feel like that it was going too fast, let me know. I'll go slower, or just maybe start in the beginning of the series. I would love that you cover the whole series if you're just starting out on this video. All right, so that's the all outlines. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw this inside circular part. So this is going to be 30 diameter and this is 40. And then I have to fix this point so it doesn't wander around, and the distance between these two is 40, and the height of this point, so select the point, hit D on the keyboard, that's 39.1. Pretty cool. We got this fully constrained sketch. Just know that in any other scenario, or like if it was a part workbench, this sketch will not cut it, because these two lines are kind of contradicting when it comes to extrusion. One of these lines will need to be deleted or like made invisible, or like construction geometry, to extrude it in part workbench. And before this version came out, it would be impossible to do it in part design as well. But here, that's the new trick that I'm gonna explain today. So in any other cases, or like on this case in a previous version, I would go ahead and copy this sketch one more time and then use these two sketches to do this color on the second face, right? But this one, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to select the first sketch that I want to use. So say this is a master sketch, and I don't want to use some lines. I want to select all the lines that I want to use in this step, and then make that pad. So it's 100, I remember, and then it would be symmetric to the plane. So there. And if you open up the sketch, you can see that the inner side, we did not select it, and it was not reflected in our padding. And then, so I want to come back to this at the end of this video and give you some extra facts related to this operation. All right, now what I want to do, I want to hide this pad, keep that sketch visible, and I want to build this collar at the end. So this is 10 millimeter. It does look like 10 millimeter. All right, so now the sketch is at middle of the object, so that's 50 plus 10. So I'll have to extrude that for 60 millimeters. Select that sketch, make it visible, and then select these two edges that I want to use and extrude that. So make a pad for 60 millimeter, right? And hit OK. There. So what it did is, on the second pad, on the same sketch, so as you can see, these are the same sketch, but it used only that only the two lines, only these two edges to build this feature, which is great. Now it reduced copy and pasting. So the master sketch I've been using so far, this feature in part design makes it way easier. And I did a quick run on part workbench. The part workbench doesn't have this feature yet. Hopefully they will get it, right? But for now, it doesn't look like it. All right, so that's the exciting feature I wanted to show you in this video. Now the rest of it is pretty simple. I want to build this indentation and then cutouts in here. So I'm going to go ahead and place it on XY plane and relocate the image to match with our already built object there. All right, and then it will be sketch on XY plane. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this pad and draw a sketch on XY plane. So on this one, the first step is to draw a slot, and as you can see, I can actually give the dimension right here. So the length would be 60, right? and then keep it horizontal, and then the radius would be 10. But here it is, it's floating, so I'm gonna go ahead and give a dimension of 20 in this direction, and then maybe make this symmetric by the axis. Looks like the background drawing is a little off. Well, I'm not gonna go back and actually adjust it right now. I think I can live with that. All right, so that's, I didn't have to close it. I'll have to do work on this one too. So now I can go draw an arc in here, and then maybe a line. Maybe I should have gone with the polyline. All right, so I got this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two, make coincident, C on the keyboard, and then apply dimension 20, and so these two will be same, and also here it will be tangential, so T on the keyboard, and then maybe draw a line. So that line is going to be 60. And I have these, I haven't drawn that actually. I'm gonna go ahead and make this dimension 20. So this is 20, this is 20, makes it 40. Now what I want to do, I want to select this line and this, right? And go ahead and actually mirror it over against this axis. So this process also retains the non-conflicting constraints. I guess I'll have to make here, so it's there, it's already fixed. Now I have to close this gap. Right now it didn't fix, so here I'll have to make these two coincident, and then let's close this up, right, just like that. And now maybe I can make these two tangential. So we have 2 degrees of freedom left, and which is this. I can actually go ahead, make these two vertical and make these two vertical, and that constrains everything. So that's our pocket sketch, and it's sitting at the bottom compared to the pad. I can select this one and hit pocket and say reversed. So that is showing something, right? Doesn't look like what I wanted to do. All right, so let's go ahead, do that, and come back to fix it. Maybe I thought something wrong. Okay, here's what I did wrong. This line makes it, yes, I should have thought through. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that construction geometry. Don't want to delete anything. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and double down on it, right? Make this line also construction geometry, and then there. So it has 2 degrees of freedom, which is the length of this. Let's make that equal, and give it an arbitrary dimension, say 10 millimeter, doesn't matter. Okay, let's take a look at that, what I did. Okay, so it was reflected, but I wanted to actually show what I did. So here, previously it was closed wire here, and it was conflicting. Now it has the pockets enclosed. So this will be one pocket, this will be another. It looks like P for pocket, right? And then here is the slot for another pocket. So previously when I closed this line and this line, it did not work. Now it works, and I'm happy about it. All right, and I have one more thing to do, which is do a groove here, and it's right here. So on this edge, looks like on this inclined edge, I'll have to do a 70mm wide and 15mm deep groove. So that will be on that face. Draw a sketch on that face, right? And then okay, wait, here, this is the one, and look at the sketch just like that. And so we'll have to do a rectangle, and I'm going to make it wide. All right, so this length is going to be 70, and obviously this is going to be symmetric by this axis, and this length I want to keep it longer than what it needs, so it should be up here, but I want to keep it longer, say 100, right? And then it is still moving, so I'm going to take this line as a reference, this line, and place it on that reference line. So C on the keyboard, right there. And now I can do a pocket of 15mm. Right, there it is. So that's our object. That is our object, and built in 0.22 developers version using the new PARD design sketching feature. So as I said, so this is done. Exercise 178 completed. I wanted to actually go back and do this trial. So you know how topological naming issue was an issue, right? And the new version is it's not going to be anymore. So theoretically we can go back and do something on the original sketch right here, and this should not actually break the model, should be reflected on here, right? Because it was in this sketch, but it did not. So this is what I want to talk here, because looks like, so I'll have to do several more trial on here, but because we had selective lines or like selective edges to do this pad, looks like the additional sketch that we drew, it is not getting reflected because it was not selected in this pad or in this pad, but it's right there. So we can actually modify this object based on that. Okay, it's showing up on the wrong place. Let's go back, maybe put it in here, right? And then what I want to do, I want to go find that here, right? And then say select this and make a pocket through all, symmetry to the plane. Great, it worked. So this is awesome. So I can go back, fix add or like delete or update my original sketch and use that updated lines to actually do some more things to the object. And topological naming issue looks like something in the past, like it has become a history, which is great. I like it. I'll say, yeah, it is awesome. All right, so no, here is something. Something happened here. Looks like maybe it was there to begin with. We need to extrude this face up here. So that was this pad. So we did it 60 on one side. We need to bring it down 50 on the other side. I cannot do that. Okay, this value needs to be 50. Let's double click on that and say dimension 2 dimensions, and we want to make this 50 because it's not this is not filling up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And okay, so I should have done that to begin with. I didn't take a look at it on that side. Pretty cool. All right, as I said, this is a new feature. I'll be doing several more trials and error on this, and mostly trials, hopefully no errors. If you know something in this process that I should know as a cautionary, please let me know. If you have any other question, comment, or suggestion, please let them know in the comment section as well. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in one of my next videos then.